Good morning.
Oh, morning. Jordan. So I think I received a email. It says the shift class was canceled, but this is for I think the Wednesday. I'm not sure it's all canceled or just the Wednesday one was canceled.
No, just the Wednesday one was postponed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'm still here, but I didn't say they're not coming.
I'm going to give it a couple minutes to see if anyone jumps on, and if not, you and I will breeze through the class.
Okay. So you were teaching the class or you are coming for the class?
I'm teaching it.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we're just going to go ahead and get started because no one's showing up, and I'm big on respecting other people's time. So
Mhm.
I'm going to go ahead and share the PowerPoint. Let's see, is it this one? Yeah, okay, perfect. Can you see this PowerPoint?
Yes.
Okay, great. I'm going to start it and we will get going.
Okay.
So what market center are you in?
Market center. I mean, San Jose.
Are you at the Gateway office or the
Yeah,
Basketball office?
Gateway office.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I'm in the Santa Cruz office. I am the Market Center Tech Trainer. I'm also a broker associate at Santa Cruz, so very nice to meet you. I'll actually be teaching a class in your Market Center next week, so looking forward to seeing you then. But we're going to jump into Shift Tactic 5, Lead Capture and Conversion.
Okay.
The one that matters because it's talking about getting to the table. People can get leads all they want, but if they're not converting it, then it really doesn't matter. All you're doing is lead capturing. This one and the next one that we cover is internet lead capture. So they're both tied in. So once we finish this one, we're going to breeze through the next one too.
Okay.
And if at any point you have questions, please just let me know.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so the main idea, now also before we jump in, I should mention that you should have the course workbook as well.
The course workbook?
There is a course workbook to accompany it. You can find it through Connect, KW Connect and KW University. However, it's not something that you absolutely need if you want to take notes on just a piece of paper. However, if you do want to take notes, that's totally fine too. However you learn best.
Okay, I will take notes.
Okay, so the main ideas of this course are putting things into perspective, capturing the leads, connecting with the leads, closing to an appointment, tracking, reviewing, and improving. Perspective. Capture and conversion system works in partnership with lead generation. You can't have one without the other. A market factor. Fewer leads put a premium on improved capture and conversion rates, and it's all about getting to the table. You can capture leads all you want, but if you're not working the leads, there's nothing, your business is just lead capture service. In a seller's market, a low conversion rate will produce a large number of sales, but in a buyer's market, a low conversion rate will produce a small number of sales. So what do you think that means?
I'm not sure, but maybe for buyers market, because a lot of people have the choice. So they will just look around, and maybe there's not too much they really want to hurry up to buy. So the conversion rate will be lower.
Right. So you're there. So in a seller's market, there's less inventory on the market. Sellers are able to ask whatever they want. So if you're focusing on a lower conversion rate with just a few, you know those people are serious about buying. It's just a matter of finding the inventory, finding it for them. But in a buyer's market, if you're having a low conversion rate where buyers are able to pick and choose whatever they want, you're not going to have the same scale that you would have in a seller's market. So even in a seller's market, it's great to have buyers, it's great to have sellers, it's great to have active leads and clients. Shifting markets test your skills in capturing leads, connecting with leads, closing an appointment, cultivating leads, and holding your team accountable. So 2 years ago, when COVID really first hit, there was a huge shift that happens, and really we had to change the way we did business. It was no longer, let me just go over to your house. It was, do you want to Zoom? Do you want me to wear a mask at your house? What do you want me to do? You tell me. We're all learning this together. So if you're shifting from a current seller's market to a buyer's market, your method of capturing the leads has to be different than it would be in a seller's market. Connecting with them has to be different. It's no longer, let me just send you a couple houses here and there. It's a lot more nurture. Closing the appointment, same thing. You have to really build that relationship in a shift. So being prepared when you go into lead generation and lead conversion. Know your scripts, know what you're going to say, don't go into it and be fumbling, be very clear and concise with your words, and don't add filler words in there. And what filler words are things like, like, well, very concise, very polished, very refined. And the way you get there is by practicing with someone. So find someone in your market center or another office or someone who's willing to role play it with you and go over the situation. Now, I like to have my role play partner and my script partner change the level of difficulty that they respond with. So sometimes they'll go very hard and be someone who doesn't really want to talk, and it's my job to convert them. And I don't know what they're going to do. So it's all dependent on how they're doing it that day. And behavioral styles. This is really match and mirror. If you have someone who's an incredibly soft-spoken person, you don't want to be this loud presence because it could put them off and it could intimidate them. Now, if you have someone who's very forward, very direct, you also want to be very forward and very direct, because the last thing that person wants is someone who's wasting their time.
Okay.
The 4-step conversion process. So this is incorrect. This first one should say capture, this one is connect, this one is cultivate, and this is convert. The first thing you have to do is capture them. So it's lead capture. In any class, there's 3 different categories you could fall into. You could be the prisoner, the vacationer, or the explorer. You can see the differences between all 3 of them. Prisoner doesn't engage, vacationer spends as much time chatting as listening, but the explorer listens attentively, participates fully in discussion and the exercises, asks the meaningful questions, and contributes compelling ahas. They arrive promptly to class, they take notes, they show up, and how they show up here is how they're going to show up in business. So, with that being said, we're going to jump in, and I hope you will participate as the explorer.
Yeah.
Step 1, lead capture. Who do you want to capture? Do you want to find buyers? Do you want to find sellers? Do you want to go into niche lead capture, which could be high end, so the luxury clientele, a specific area, a specific demographic? Do you want to be in the city? Do you want to be in suburbs? Do you want to do land? Do you want to do whatever niche you're thinking of, there's so many opportunities that you can dive into and so many ways you can get engaged. A lot of people are going after sellers right now, which is great because there's not a lot of inventory.
Yes.
A lot of people are going after buyers. Great. Then you have to find the inventory for those buyers. So there's always a balance to whatever lead you're trying to capture. A motivated lead in capturing leads means they're ready, willing, and able. They have a reason or motivation to move right now. They're willing to make the move now, and they're able to make the move now. If you have a lead that is ready, willing, and able, that is classified as an A lead, means they're ready, willing, and able to go right this second. We'll talk about A, B, and C leads a little later on, more in depth too. These are the ones you definitely want to spend a lot of time capturing, nurturing, converting, getting them in your database, talking to them, finding out the reasoning they're wanting to move. So what's a common motivation a lot of sellers are having to move, or that you see that sellers are wanting to make the move right now?
Maybe because they have already retired, or maybe they have moved to another place to work, and someone maybe they live a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom house, but they have baby and they need to have bigger one. Yeah.
Absolutely. They're moving for a job. They are downsizing. They are wanting to get out of the state. They want to relocate to somewhere tropical.
Yeah.
Whatever their motivation is, they have it, and they have it now. Willing, they're agreeable, and they do what it takes to move now. So they want to set the appointment, they're agreeable to the terms, they want to work with you, and they're able to. So if it's a buyer, they're pre-approved and they can buy or sell now, or they have the funds. They could get the funds from their stock account. Whatever the case may be, they're ready to go.
Yes.
Every lead is now, future, or never. Ready, willing, and able, those are A leads. Future, ready at some point in the future, B and C. Never, can't be reached or asked not to be contacted. So for me personally, what I do is if someone says they don't want to be contacted, I take them off all the email lists. And if I don't hear from them, I put a tag on their account. If I don't hear from them within 6 months or so, I take them out of my database completely, because when I get to the point where I want to retire or exit out of real estate and I go to sell my database, I want a very clean, polished database that someone can make a lot of money off of, and I can collect from that. Future, ready, willing at some point. If they're not ready within 30 days, they're a B lead. 30 to 60 days, they're a B lead. Past 60 days, they're a C lead. So they'll be ready. However, it's just going to take time to get them there. Who do you want to capture? So who are your preferred customers? What are their profiles? And does your prospecting and marketing target these customers? So what are you doing to actively engage leads that could work with you? Are you marketing to first-time home buyers? If so, how are you tailoring your marketing or your prospecting to them? Open houses, that's great. People are always shopping or they're looking. Wonderful. Neighbors, great. We love neighbors coming in. Those can also be future clients. So one question when you're getting into this is always think, am I tailoring it to the leads that I am trying to capture? What does my customer base or what does my client base look like, and how can I tailor it to them? Social media, there's a big difference in generations. Older generations aren't always on social media. Younger generations find out a lot more information through social media. So if you're going after retirees or people who are relocating because they want to be closer to family or downsizing, you have to shift your lead generation, your lead capture methods with that. I personally have different methods, as everyone should. So paper marketing, email, cold calling. Just be careful with cold calling. Look at the do not call registry. Be compliant with everything, because the last thing you want is someone yelling at you saying, "Don't call me. Why'd you call me? I'm not registered," and all that jazz. Any questions here about who you want to capture and the methodologies?
No, just wondering how many capture method we need to use. You just mentioned the open house and social media. Maybe there's cold call or something. Usually, a successful agent can usually use how many different types of lead capture method?
That's a good question. And I don't know if there's an actual concrete number of how many methods that successful agents use, because successful agents use whatever works and whatever fits into their system. So they find what works best for them and they stick to that. Whether it's 3 different things, whether it's 2 different things, 5 different methods, they find that and they stick to it and they develop the systems and models around that.
So usually the agent just choose what they really feel works.
Find the ones that work for you and your business and implement those every day you lead generate.
Okay, thank you.
Methods of capture. Sign calls. The most recognized for sale method is a for sale sign. People see that and usually they'll call or they'll find the website, they'll Google the address, and they'll find a way to get the information. The interactive voice recorded 800 calls. So you call in a hotline number and it gives you all of the details of the house and it's pre-recorded. That in turn can send you the details of the people who have called. Then there's print marketing, offers in newspapers, magazines, flyer, newsletters, and postcards. So this one is much more marketing based, not as prospect based. Marketing is much more expensive than prospecting. So make sure you have a budget allocated for marketing if you're going to do any methods of print advertising or television, radio, whatever method it is. Open houses and outbound calling. Open houses are a great way to meet people, to build up your sphere, and perhaps they're not looking now, but they see your presence in that neighborhood, and 6 months out, they're going to sell. 3 months out, they're going to sell, or they want to buy that house. They walk in and say, "Oh, you know what? I like this. This would be a great investment. Perfect. We want to buy it." Wonderful. You were in the right place at the right time with that one. And then, of course, you have outbound calling. Doesn't always have to be cold calling. Check in with your sphere of influence too. You never know when someone in your sphere is going to be buying or selling, and they need a reminder that you're in real estate.
Okay.
Phone calls. When you're talking to someone, especially cold calling, you have a very short window to make a good impression. I would say within the first 30 seconds, you need to really get engaged with that person and really sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Disarm them, because people don't like to be solicited to via phone. Make a good impression. If they call you, answer quickly, speak warmly, confidently, with enthusiasm, and ask for the appointment. Ask for the business. Ask to go and sit down and go over a buyer broker agreement. Ask to go over a listing agreement.
Yes.
Systematizing your capture. So you can do it offline or online. Some people write it down on with pen and paper. Some people do it all while they're calling or generating, and they do it all on their computer. We have a great system with command. You can do it all while you lead generate. You can create a contact within 30 seconds. Very easy, very streamlined. And then you can put those contacts on different smart plans to stay engaged with them. Now, you kind of want to combine it too, because if you're doing it online on a computer, you have to put them into your CRM, so Command in this case, get their contact information. But then if you're asking, when you're asking for the appointment, you need to put it on a calendar. So you either use your calendar application or your planner, whichever method you use. Put all leads into your database, whether it's a phone call in the car, a conversation at a coffee shop. Put it down on a piece of paper, a napkin, take a picture of the contact information, email them so that you can exchange the information, put it down as a referral for later on. Make sure you have it, because if you're writing things down and you never put it into a centralized place, all you're doing is writing it down and not doing anything with it. Stop and think about your current capture system, how you categorize it, and what improvements can you make. So with Command, you can put them in there, you can tag them, and with any CRM, if you're not using Command for your contact management system, make sure you have a way to tag them. If you haven't talked to someone in 90 days, they're going to forget about you. Then you call them, or you see on Facebook and they just bought a house with someone else, or they sold their house and they listed with someone else. So make sure they're organized in a system, in a fashion that you can contact them frequently when needed and stay top of mind. Just by quick show of hands or thumbs up, however, who's using Command and putting their leads onto a smart plan? No one? Okay, well, if you're not, I'm highly suggesting you get in there, talk to your Market Center tech trainer, have them get you in Command, or get a system going that you can capture leads with and you can communicate with them. Put that at the top of your resolution list for this year. Step 2, connecting with the leads. When someone is calling you, this says to answer all calls immediately, respond to all inquiries within 5 minutes, because if you don't, someone else will. For the Santa Cruz County Association of Realtors, our latest number is about 1,400 realtors. If you don't answer someone else will. So work to get the information to them as quickly as possible, but also work to get their information as quickly as possible. There's some great tools out there with automated systems, virtual chatbots you can use. So those are all great tools you can implement. If you have 1 to 2 minutes to create a positive, lasting impression. So within that 2-minute span, you need to provide so much value to someone who's contacting you or you're contacting that you stick to them. Did it skip? No, okay. Reasons for the conversation. Identify the motivated. Find out their motivation. If they're motivated or not, it's a very simple question. Are they looking to sell now, sell later, or not sell at all? Are they looking to buy now, buy later, not buy at all? Where are they at? Get that motivation, and that's how you double down in the conversation with getting to ask for the appointment. Set the appointment and ask for the business. Provide custom answers. Don't come with a generic answer for every question. Really answer their question. If they're asking you, why should they use you as a realtor when they know 10 others? If you go to them and say, well, ABC, and it's just a boilerplate template, they could get that anywhere. They want to know what you're going to do for them that is different from everyone else, and you develop that through your value proposition. Build purposeful business relationships. The best clients are the ones that become friends after the transaction or sometime during the transaction. Always remember they are a client first and let the relationship build itself. Move buyers to pre-approval and begin action plans. Maybe they're not ready right this second, but maybe in 2 weeks they will be ready. That's still a very hot lead. All they need is an introduction to a lender to become pre-approved. Then they can start shopping. Communicate in person. Show up for them. Show up to the appointment. You say you're going to be somewhere, show up for them. Asking smart questions. Use a lead sheet. Motivation. Why are they wanting to buy in a specific neighborhood? Why are they selling their home? What is the significance of this neighborhood to them? Maybe they were raised there. Their childhood home is there. Maybe they really like the neighbors that are there because they're friends with them and they want to buy a house next to them. There's tons of different motivation, but that is going to be the driving force in getting their business. What features do they want? Do they want a 3-bedroom? Do they want a 4-bedroom? How many square feet? Do they want a pool? Do they want to be close to a highway or a freeway? You kind of don't realize those things until you're far away from those amenities. And then when you have to drive 10, 15 minutes to access a highway or a freeway, you kind of think, oh, this is why people like to be closer in proximity to freeways. Price. What's their budget that they're thinking of? If they're currently renting, you know that if they're paying $2,500 in rent, they can afford a $2,500 mortgage, and talk to their lender about that too. Maybe they're comfortable in $25,000 to a $3,000 range. That will dictate the prices that they can shop around for. Do they have an agent, and will they need financing? And then what is the best contact information for them? The great thing about it is maybe you're talking to a seller who doesn't want to sell right now, but is interested in refinancing. Connect them with a great mortgage lender, and stay in contact with them, because if you stay in contact with them and you provided value to them through the referral to a great lender, they're going to remember you and come around to you when they're ready to sell or to buy another unit. Make sure you're writing all of these answers down when you're talking to them as well, so then you can put it on their contact card. Sample questions for buyers. We just asked a couple of them. What are you looking for in your dream home? What's prompting your move? Motivation right there. Do you own the place where you're currently living now? Who can tell me why that is a very important question to ask?
Because you could have a listing and a sale on your hands then.
Exactly. Not only that, if they're going to purchase something but they're not going to sell, they can refinance with cash out on their house, and that is usually cheaper than money for a new purchase. Money against your existing home is cheaper than a new purchase. Not always, most of the time. Talk to their lender, talk to your lender, let the lender give them that information though. Have you talked with the real estate agent about selling your current home? Just get the question out of the way. Don't be afraid to go in a little deeper with that too. A lot of people say, yes, I have. Great, who's your agent? A lot of the times they'll stumble and say, and not have one. Now, if they say an agent where you actually know them, okay, that's going to change the tune of the conversation, because you don't want to try and steal someone's client they're actively working with and someone who has a relationship. Are you pre-approved with a lender? Big difference with a pre-approval and a pre-qualification. Make sure your buyers are always pre-approved. And then what price range do you have in mind? This is a preliminary question because it will change. If they're thinking that they're able to buy $2 million homes, but they only make $100,000 a year, there's a big gap in between there unless they have a lot of cash or equity in their home or whatever the situation is. Have the lender do that work. Get the address of their home. What's prompting you to move? That's their motivation. Are their children moving to another state for college and they want to be close by? Are they relocating to a tropical paradise. Take me with you. Are you interviewing other agents? How much do you think your home is worth? And then tell me about your house. People love to talk about themselves, their possessions, and their assets. So once you ask them, tell me about your house, just listen attentively, take notes on that, because that's going to help you sell yourself to them as the agent. Ask for the appointment. You miss 100% of the shots you do not take. You've got a 50-50 chance. It's either going to be yes or no. Offer a solid reason to meet, propose a day and a time. So if you're meeting with a buyer, have them come to your office. If you're meeting with a seller, generally you want to go and see the home before you can really provide a realistic range, because the comps in the neighborhood could show an $800,000 price tag, but if it hasn't been updated since the 50s, you have to have a little bit of a price adjustment. And stay focused on uncovering the needs and responding to them. Meet their needs. Always aim to meet their wants, but always meet their needs. Everything making sense?
Yes.
Fantastic. Enter the details in your database. I have 6 different calendar accounts, and I have a paper planner and digital. Put everything, and every week I make sure everything is synced up. Sundays are my days to do that. So if you set appointments and you put it in your calendar, put it on your paper calendar as well, or vice versa. Put the details in your database, in your contact card. They want to sell their property here. Here's the significance of the house to them. This is what they're looking for. They're moving to this place. And here's the big thing. If they're relocating out of the state or out of your service area, tell them you can make an introduction to a trusted agent who's going to provide the same service that you will provide to them or better. Because if they don't know anyone down there, now you have the sale, but you also have a referral check coming in. Put them on action plans to follow up. The key is in the follow-up. Excuse me, the sale is in the follow-up. Your connection system. So, what are you doing when you connect with leads to put them in your system? Anyone?
I email them, text them. I don't very much call them. What else? Yeah.
Okay, so you reach out to them once you have them in their system. Now, when you're lead generating, do you put them in your system right away? Or do you write it down and then put it into your system later?
How do I get their contact is through open houses usually, and they write it down, their contact information, and then I get back to them, thank you very much, text, same day, and then a couple of days later I try to call them. If they don't communicate with me 3 consecutive times, I give up.
Okay, so you get it on paper and then you put it into your database though
Yes.
for follow-up. Great.
Yes.
Wonderful. As long as you're putting them into a system for follow-up, that's where the conversion will happen. Think about what improvements you can make. We're never going to be perfect. We can always strive to be better. Talk to agents in your office, see what they're doing, see what's working for them. If you don't have that implemented, try it out. You're never going to have a perfect system, so try the things that could work for you and stick to what does work for you. Cultivate. The benefits of cultivating. We are a relationship business. If someone doesn't want to work with you, you're going to know it very quickly. When you cultivate a relationship, you become sticky. And what do I mean by sticky? You're going to attach to that person. They're going to associate real estate with you. Cement the relationship through action plans, follow through, do what you say you're going to do. Maintain top of mind status. With 1,400 realtors in Santa Cruz County, staying top of mind is key. And I'm sure in Santa Clara County, it's triple that at least. Always provide value. Don't just say, hey, have value. Hey, saw this article, thought of you. What do you think? Hey, saw this going on in your neighborhood. If you check it out, let me know what it is. Maybe it's a craft fair or there's a new restaurant opening somewhere nearby, something like that. Prioritize communication related to the state of motivation. If they're wanting to get out while interest rates are still low and you find an article that the feds are going to be raising rates in the next coming month, or your lender says it's forecasted that rates could go up by the end of this month, communicate that with them and copy the lender in on the email. Have them help you out. Increases your opportunity to close an appointment. The business is there. It's up to you to ask for it. And how do you ask for it? Simple. Let's meet. Are you available this day or this day at this time? Those are times that work for you, and you go through it until there's one that works for everyone. Closing appointments. Action plans, 33 touches, 8x8s, consistently and forever. Our CRM system with Command has these built in through smart plans. There's an 8x8 plan. There is a 33 touch program. You want to make sure you're communicating with them. So birthdays, telephone calls, whatever it is, quarterly magazine, make sure you're doing it for consistently with your people that you're putting into your database. The tools, we have KWU courses, lead generation, 36-12-3, 36 listings, 12 months, 3 hours a day. eEdge, we are no longer using eEdge, we are in Command. So get familiar with Command. If you are not familiar with Command and you need a demonstration, talk to your market center, tech trainer, talk to leadership, have them point you in the right direction.
Jordan, what was this 36-12-3? What was the 3 listing months?
3 hours a day.
Hours.
36 listings, 12 months, 3 hours a day.
Yeah, you are gonna call 3 hours every day for 12 months, and then you are gonna get 36 listings.
At least 36 listings.
Mm-hmm.
Ask for the appointment. Ask. The answer is always no until you ask. Have several scripted questions to move them through the categories, find their motivation, and double down on that. The likelihood of a meeting place is 50% will come to your office, 25% will meet nearby for coffee, and 25% will want to meet at their home, or they're going to want to do it by Zoom. Maybe they're still very, very, very cautious of the current state of affairs, and they don't want to be meeting in person as they want to minimize contact as much as possible. Maybe they're a frontline worker and have exposures every day, and they're thinking of you. We don't know what the situation is. Talk to them, find out what their comfort level is, and close the appointment no matter what the situation is. Be relentless in getting the appointment. Update your database while you're talking to the people. If you have old information, it's not going to do you any good. Your cultivation system describes describe your current system for cultivating leads. What action plans are you using, and are you anticipating the changing needs of your leads? What improvements can you make? For all of our leads right now, especially our buyer leads, their biggest need is more inventory, because if they have more inventory, that lessens the competition and it helps keep them within the price range. Not always realistic, but that's usually their needs. A lot of people are needing homes right now, and there's not a lot of homes on the market. So you can either make the market or you could work the current market. Call places that have expired. January 1st, National Expired Day. First of the month is a great time to call expired listings. Get in front of them, get the appointment. I have a buyer. Here's the thing. If you say you have a buyer for someone and you're calling on their house, make sure you have a buyer, because if you show up and you try and pull the bait and switch where you don't really have one, that person is not always going to be happy with you. So if you have a buyer, actually have a buyer. Always think of the improvements that you can make. Always work towards improving them and work your current system until it doesn't work for you. Conversion or convert. Conversion takes skill. Know your markets, both local and national. Be a hyper-local person in any market. Know the neighborhoods. Know the nuances of the neighborhood. Know what is currently going on in real estate, what the trends are. Data-oriented and numbers-driven. Know your stats. Study your market. Have great communication skills. Polish your speech. Know when to talk. Know when to listen. Have great sales and persuasive skills. How do you have that? Double down on their motivation. If they said that they're iffy, if someone tells me, well, we want to sell to be closer to my grandchildren, great. But then they say, well, we want to sell in 6 months. So my follow-up question is, you want to wait 6 months and let that time go by and miss everything within that 6 months? We call it pain points. Find their pain points and push on those. Don't be so overt with it that you offend them, but find a way to word that. How? Work with a script partner. Talk to your productivity coach or your business coach and see who you could talk to that will help you polish this skill. Previewing the properties. This could be a great way. You never know who you could pick up. A neighbor could come over and want to go see the house, and that could be your next client. Know what's out there in your market. Conversion rates. So calculate yours based on the following: your total number of leads, the number of futures in your database that you've been cultivating, and number of agreements from appointments. For your conversion rates, you'll have your leads that you need, and you can set these all in command under goal settings. It's a great tool that we have. The number of leads that you have, and you work it backwards. So if you want 250,000 GCI, it's going to tell you how many closings you need. From how many closings you need, it will tell you how many appointments you have to have. From how many appointments, it'll tell you how many leads you need to have. So you have to call or get in front of those people to create them as leads, then convert them to clients. Keep track of your conversion rates. So measure it off of every 10 appointments you go on or every 10 calls. Do you convert 1 out of every 10 calls to an appointment? Do you convert 9 out of every 10 calls to every appointment? If you're converting 9 out of every 10 appointment leads you call to an appointment, you are doing great. Keep it up. If you have 1, you're doing great. Work it up to build it up. This is a rough industry where in sales, you're going to hear no, you're going to have rejection. It's a part of it. Be like a duck. Let the water roll off your back and don't sweat it. Don't lose any leads. Every lead is precious, with the exception of the people who fill out the Facebook leads with some random profane name, number, and email. Be the best person on the job. Show up as your best self each and every day. Focus on lead generation and lead conversion, and go back to your Mets. Does that all make sense to everyone? Yes, no, maybe?
Yes.
Great. The decision continuum. Middle is on the fence. To the left is maybe no. Then there's a firm no and an absolute no. How do you know when you've got an absolute no? Go door knocking. When someone shuts the door in your face, that's an absolute no. Here's the thing though. It's an absolute no right now, because the next time you go door knocking, you're going to be better at it. You're going to have different value to provide. So it could go from absolute no to the other end of the spectrum to an absolute yes. Don't give up. The only time you give up is when it gets really serious and they're saying, if you knock on this door again, I'm going to call the police. Maybe don't go back to that house. Maybe yes. How do you work to getting from maybe yes to a firm yes? Provide value. How do you go from a firm yes to an absolute yes? Provide so much value that they don't even think of anyone else in real estate besides you. How do you provide value? Maybe it's an introduction to a lender. Maybe find out their motivation. Do they want to stay in the neighborhood? What do they like about the neighborhood? Do they want to stay in the state? What do they like about the state? Find their motivation and drill down on that. Reasons why sellers are not right. They're not motivated to price correctly. They're not motivated to get the property in good selling condition, or there's no urgency to get out of the house. If you're talking to a seller and you see the comps justify $500,000, but they want to price it at $900,000, there's a $400,000 gap that you have to work on bringing down. And how do you do that? Show them the data. Put the data right in front of them. They're not motivated to get the property in good selling condition. Okay, maybe they don't have the funds to be able to do that. They may not have the liquid funds, but we have a great tool at Keller Williams. Sorry, I'm thinking of something else. We have a great tool at Keller Williams called the Ready to Sell program. They can get it ready in exchange for credit based on creditworthiness or an equity share program. Get certified with Keller Offers and the Ready to Sell program. Get familiar with it. That is a value add that you can provide to them. Or there's no urgency to get out of the house. If there's no urgency and you can't get their motivation, that's going to be a hard conversion, maybe a long-term lead. Why buyers aren't ready. Maybe they're not ready financially. They have to pay off some debt, credit card debt, student loan debt, car payment, whatever it is. Maybe they need to sell a house. That's always great. They need to sell to buy. Maybe they lack motivation. Find out their motivation, double down on their motivation. Do they want to keep paying rent or do they want to start building their own equity? They aren't sure of buying. Real estate is never bad to own. Never. If you look at the history of real estate, it's one of the few investments that historically and long-term has always gone up. You can compare it to any stock portfolio, any individual stock, any asset, any investment, and you will see that long-term the graph goes upward, not downward. They aren't sure, and they can't make a decision. Indecisiveness is really hard because you have to be the driving force for that person, and some people don't have that personality. It is okay. Focus on the people who can make a decision. Sellers and buyers, there's a difference. Would you like me to handle the sale for you? Would you like me to get your home sold? Buyers, would you like me to help you find your dream home? Are you ready to make an agreement now? That question should be asked for both buyers and sellers. You ready to sign the listing now? No? Why not? What's stopping you? Get their motivation, drill down on it, get the agreement signed. Track, review, and improve. Knowing your progress in lead capture conversion is essential. What's working and what isn't. Look at your systems. Double down on your systems and models. Refine your systems. Polish your systems. Understand by areas. Leads go to appointments. Appointments go to agreements. Agreements goes to closed transaction. Closed transactions go to what?
Sales.
Sales, which leads to
Money.
money. Great. Okay. Now, what about when you're at the end of your career and you have this beautiful book of business?
That leads to money too.
Exactly. And you know why? Because not only can you sell it for a base price, but then you can make a royalty off of it. For every sale you get, I want a 30% fee from every one of these people. Why not? So, do you track your conversion rate? If not, why not?
Because it's hard to track and also need a lot of time.
It's not hard to track, not at all. If you're talking to 10 people, how many of those are setting appointments? Tally it up. Talk to 10 people, set 10 appointments. Talk to 10 people, set 2 appointments. There's your conversion rate right there. From those appointments, how many appointments went to signed agreements? 10 appointments, 2 agreements. 10 appointments, 10 agreements, whatever the case may be. Track it, write it down, systematize it. Excel, if you want to do it on the computer and you're not in Command yet, Command is a great tool for this as well. The bottom line, every lead has the potential to turn into business. Don't be a secret agent. Everyone should know you're in real estate. Everyone. I still struggle with it because I don't like to put my business out there. We're in the business where we have to stay relevant. It's something we all have to accept. Treat every lead as precious. Find out which leads are ready, willing, and able. Categorize them, A, B, or C. Cultivate all other leads until they are ready, willing, and able. And use your sales ability, skill, knowledge of the market to move people from inquiry to lead to close transaction to friend to relationship. Ask for the business. Always, 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 always. Answer's always no until you
Ask.
Exactly. Your career growth initiative. Talk to your PC, your coach, whoever it is in doing this. Listing management, they can help you with your listing management, your monthly listings, your pipeline, what your value is, what your GCI is, the trends, language of real estate, and how to become the local expert. All of these will fuel your gross commission income. Your pipeline is here. Listing appointments, listings taken. I prefer to say listings earned. Your wall of value. You have this value that you have to provide from listing taken, listings earned to closings, whether it's buyer or seller. Once you have your closings, then you have your profit. Develop your action plan. It's still very early in the new year. It is never too late to have an action plan, just like it is never too late to pivot and shift when needed. In the guide that we have on pages 49 and 50, you can use that. Talk to your coach, develop your 135, develop your 411. Don't make something that is so complex that you're never going to use it and that you have to read a giant book to understand it. One page right in front of you. Here's my monetary goal. Here's how many people I need. Here are my systems that I'm going to use to get it. Simple and easy. Here are other courses in the Shift series that we're going through. And here are some ahas, actions, tools, accountability, and achievement. There's the course eval, but with that being said, we're going to jump into the next one. And I gotta hustle because we have a little over 30 minutes here. Does anyone have any questions on session 5? No one? All right, so then we're gonna jump into session number 6, which is, oh, I guess I gotta share my screen. That would help out, huh? All right, can everyone see the PowerPoint?
Yes.
Great. Internet lead capture and conversion. Let's talk about how the internet and social media will help your business. Perspective on internet lead capture and conversion. Let's go over that. How the internet impacts real estate and what the 4 C's are. Perspective. Customers are uber connected and informed. How many of us have one of these things? Everyone. How many of us feel like it's just about surgically attached at this point? I'm on social media a lot. I'm checking email a lot. I'm checking my messages a lot. It's the nature of where we are in today's society. There's the internet, there's social media, there's mobile apps, tons of it. Different generations get their news from different sources. Some might watch traditional news stations on television. Some might read the newspaper. Some get it from the internet. Some get it from social media. If Facebook is your main source of news, no judgment, that's on you. Some people get it from Twitter. Some people get it from Apple News. Whatever it is, it's all digitally based now. Online interactions complement your personal touch in order to capture, connect, cultivate, and close. Internet, social media, mobile apps, everything should supplement your business. It should be a division of your business. And now keep in mind, we're running a business. Even though it's us, treat it as a business. What is my marketing department doing? What is my prospecting department doing? What am I putting out on there of social media? What is my presence saying? When is a lead a lead? When it hits, when there's inquiries, and then there's leads. So if you have hits on the website, there's really no way to take all of that information and turn it into a lead. When they inquire about something, that's when they become a lead, because then you'll have their contact information. A lot of the times the lead capture system wants to fill out the best times to talk to them, and they usually can't move forward unless they put in the information. Now, it's not always a good lead because they might put in something like, don't email me at gmail.com or whatever it is, a fake email or a fake phone number, and the wall doesn't capture it. However, if they want the information, they're going to fill it out correctly. Can you have too many leads? What do you think?
Only if you're not going to follow up on them.
Okay. You need a well-designed follow-up system. A lead is someone who is able, ready, and willing to do business right now, right at this second, or within a reasonable amount of time. If you're just putting down leads on a piece of paper and not having any plan to follow up, then yes, you can have too many leads. If you're putting them in a system, if you're putting them in a CRM and you have a system to follow up with them, then no, you cannot have too many leads, because you can work the leads in a systematized fashion. Now, let's say you get to the point where you're not able to handle everything. Maybe you're doing 10 transactions a month and you just can't handle 11 transactions. You have a couple options. Talk to your leadership about growth and what's next and who you're hiring next, or refer it out. Maybe you're comfortable at 10 and you don't want to grow. Whatever you want to do with your business. If you refer it out, great. Then you have a referral coming in. Perfect, wonderful, awesome. The challenge, get motivated leads first. Be your local expert, be the market expert. Understand the needs of buyers and sellers and use your website to leverage those needs. Make great first impressions and follow up on every inquiry. Every Facebook ad I put out there, I put it on a smart plan so it goes out automatically once they're in the system. Some people say stop, some people say piss off, don't email me, whatever it is. It's going to work or it isn't going to work. It'll work if you put in the work to get it to work. Work, 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 work. You can call me Rihanna. Again, here is the matrix of it. I always want you to be the explorer. Always, always, always. Who uses the internet? Buyers and sellers. 90% of all home buyers search online. 89% use mobile devices to search online. Agents can bridge the gap between the internet research and the home purchase. 88% of buyers use a real estate agent. The truth, a great website may bring you a lot of visitors, but it takes more than that to get a customer or a client. If you have a system in place to capture those buyers and sellers and to convert them from leads to clients, it can yield great leads. The buyers and sellers are looking for help and trusted advice from an agent. The internet lead capture and conversion, excuse me, is a numbers game. It's based on volume. For every 10 I get, 1 is going to turn into a client. Whatever it is, for every 20 I get, 6 are going to turn into clients. Whatever the number is, focus on the follow-up. Sellers on the internet, browse to analyze and research the market. Look at comparables. They have no loyalty to agents or companies they come across online, and they want to understand the home buying process. They want agents to know their stuff and provide real value. When you're going there and you're talking about a CMA, what's a common thing that sellers will tell you about the worth of their house?
The house may be worth more.
Zillow says my house is worth X, Y, and Z. Have a script to diffuse that, whatever it is. Whether you need to tell them that Zillow needed to close down their home buying and selling process because the algorithm in the Zestimate was wrong, fine, whatever it is. That's not slander. That's the truth from their mouths. They've published the article on that. Be the expert and it will show through. Buyers on the internet start early in their timeline. They could be 6 months out, but they start early. They could be a year out, but they start early. They're browsing to analyze and research the market, and they're very prepared when they're ready. They're going to hop from website to website, app to app, wherever it is, and they're searching online instead of driving to open houses. Some people like to go to open houses, others don't. They just want to tour everything online. With the technology we have available, people can see the insides and outsides of a house on a very intimate level without even stepping foot outside of their home. They still want agents to know their stuff and provide real value. Be the expert for all of your clients. Use technology, command, social media, messenger apps, video email, TikTok, pre-recorded, whatever it is you have to do. Just get yourself out there in front of your clients. 2 reasons for a website: online presence for your hub of business that they can search, buyers and sellers can understand the process, and it's a tool for communication. You have an electronic office through your MLS, the KWLS system. Your client management system also helps with tracking and reporting. Here's the reality. If you have access to the internet and a laptop or a computer, you could work from the beach if you wanted to. You could go and work from a coffee shop all day if you wanted to. Whatever you wanted to do, as long as you have the technology and an internet connection, great. The 4 C's. The 4 C's are capture, connect, cultivate, and convert. The 5th C is where they become a customer or client for life. Capture interested people, connect with them on a personal level, cultivate the relationship, and then close the appointment. Here's your funnel: capture, connect, cultivate, convert. Successful agents live at the top of their funnel to capture and then move it down. Then they go back up and move it down. Then they go back up and move it down. Agents' time spent with consumers at various stages, and agents' ability to leverage automation in various stages. So this is an upside down pyramid, this is an upside down pyramid, but here you have the base. It's all about the time you spend with the consumer at the various stages. So capture, you're not spending a whole lot of time to capture them, but they are being captured. Then connect, you see that there is a little more time spent. Cultivate, there's a lot of time spent at cultivate, and then in convert, a lot of time spent there. Automation, you can get an AI bot to do the capture online. You can get a connect bot to do it online. A little less at cultivate, and then at the conversion, it has to be you. It's no one else, it's you. Make offer for immediate response. For capture, you have a best buy list, an instant notification of homes for sale, find out what your home is worth, see more about a property, automated guidance, foreclosure, distress sales, etc., free reports on the market. Generate the reports through your MLS, generate them on your own, search the stats, learn about foreclosures, what the process sale is, learn about distress sales, short sales, auction sales, all of that. Learn how, talk to a divorce attorney. I know it sounds crazy, but talk to them and form that relationship with them. Divorce is a really hard thing for people to go through, and there could be an asset for sale. How do you do it? You have the skill set to go through and handle the transaction with the velvet glove on, so it's soft for all parties, still accomplishing the goal. These are all tools you can find or make or create or duplicate from someone else that offer value for the capture phase. So you have skinny bait, no registration is required for it, or you have the fat bait, registration is required. Skinny bait, maybe it's they just want to see property and it's not an aggressive capture system. Fat bait, there is registration required to get the information. Our Facebook ads, they have to fill out their information to get the information. They have to give their information to get the information. These are also known as aggressive and non-aggressive capture. At a minimum, it should contain a name and email. The optimal is phone, location, buyer, seller, and more. What are the more it could be? Where do they currently live? How long they have been there, where they're wanting to relocate. Are they needing X, Y, and Z? Are they pre-approved? Do they need a lender? Tons of different things. To be notified, you need either a voice message to your phone, a text message, or an email. With whatever system you have set up, there should be some sort of notification system. This is talking about describing your current capture system and how you can provide value to it. So really look at that, take a detailed look at it and see, okay, is this working for me? What changes do I need to make? Connecting, respond as quickly as possible and provide real value. Remember, if you don't, there's 1,399 other agents who will. Purpose of connecting, identify the motivation and readiness. Double down on their motivation and see how ready and prepared they are. Ask for the appointment, set the appointment. Provide the custom answer, don't do a boilerplate, and build the relationship. Move the buyers to a pre-approval. Action plans for non-urgent inquiries. Automate that. Let that go to a bot, have someone else get back to them. If it's an urgent inquiry, get back to them right away. Non-urgent, you can take a little more time. However, still do it within a quick turnaround time. Call back within 3 to 7 minutes. If they're busy, call back again within 5 to 10 minutes. Try 3 times, be friendly, relaxed, confident, match and mirror their energies. Always answer the questions with questions to get them to give you the data that you need, and then close with the appointment. Once you reach the person, introduce yourself, thank them for visiting your website, and ask them, are you finding homes on the internet? How long have you been looking? What's prompting you to move? This is helping you uncover their motivation. Once you have that, you close for an appointment. Well, I hear that you're looking for a house within the next month and you've been searching for 6 months prior to it. Let's get you into business. When works for you to meet? I have available Friday at 5 p.m. or Saturday at 12 p.m. Let them answer you. If you don't reach them, you can leave a message, provide helpful information they can use and build the relationship. Have a series of scripted voice messages, pointers on how to navigate the website, market research, and instant notification of properties. Follow the TCPA, though, Telephone Consumer Protection Act. If you're using an automated dialer, you can't have pre-recorded messages. Be cautious of it and check the do not call registry if you're working on calling them. The exception is if they reach out to you, they give permission to be contacted. How quickly would you say you're connecting with your inquiries that you get? Immediately, within an hour, 2 days?
As soon as I get it.
As soon as you get it. Okay, great, good answer. Cultivate. You're providing continuous value, so you switch from lead to relationship to client. Cement the relationship with action plans. Follow through on what you're going to do. By doing that, you're going to stay top of mind. If you say, I'm going to get you a CMA tomorrow, get them a CMA tomorrow. Increase the opportunity to convert to appointments. Oh, nope, that was a quick one. Describe your current system for cultivating leads. Contacting them back in the manner that they like. My fields usually indicate do they like to be contacted by email or telephone, text message or phone call. What is it? If they want to be text, I will text them. Hey, thanks so much for visiting the site. What can I help you with? What do you need from me? Most consumers know how to navigate a website, so it could just be a test to see if they're going to get anything out of you. But until they say stop contacting them, keep providing value to them. If you saw that they were looking at a 4-bedroom home, send them another 4-bedroom home. Send them a 5-bedroom home. So your script could be, why settle for 4 when you could have 5? Whatever it is, it's a bit cheeky, but you know what? It could work. Convert. Ask for the appointment at every opportunity. Answer's always no until you ask. Explain the purpose of the appointment. Let's meet to set up the listing and go over the listing agreement. Does today at 5 p.m. work for you, or tomorrow at 10 a.m. work for you? We're going to be going over the listing agreement, getting it signed to prepare your home for market. Once you believe it's okay to ask for what you want, you will have a chance of getting it. You have to believe in yourself, because if you don't, that is portrayed to your clients, to your leads. People want to work with someone that they feel comfortable with. People also want to work with someone they're confident in their abilities. Come from contribution and know your numbers. Stop and think about the number of inquiries that you have, the number of contacts you make from those inquiries, and the number of conversion from lead to client. Knowing your numbers, study the MLS. If they're saying they want to be in the 95062 zip code, know how many active listings there are. Know what the average days on market and what the average sales price is, or median sales price is. That is coming from contribution. The bottom line, people understand the needs of, you have to understand the needs of buyers and sellers and make offers that generate immediate response. Focus your time and attention on the highly motivated buyers and sellers. Don't forget about the B and C leads, but focus on the A leads. A lead, someone who is ready, willing, and able to buy or sell real estate now. There's no such thing as a bad inquiry, just inquiries that aren't followed up. Don't capture a bunch of inquiries if you can't address them in some way. All you're doing is catching and not doing anything, Using automated systems to capture inquiries allows for agents to focus more time on cultivating and converting their internet leads to relationships. Look into automation bots. If you're using a VA, talk to them about what they could be doing. A virtual assistant. If you're using Facebook ads, is there an automatic feed into your client's relationship manager? Anything like that. Here's your career growth initiative. Your listing management goes to listings per month, which is your pipeline. Agent trend goes to the language of real estate, which goes to the local expert. And all of these contribute to your gross commission income. Your career growth initiative focuses on the wall of value. You go from listing appointments to listings earned, to closings, to profit. Profit leads to a valuable business. A valuable business leads to a healthy retirement when you go to sell it, or expansion, or whatever it is. Maybe you'll be on $1 million real estate, Santa Cruz, or $1 million listing Santa Cruz, or San Jose, or whatever area you're in. Possibilities are endless. Form your action plan. Develop your 135 with your coach. Develop your 411 with your coach. Double down on it. Put it in front of you. Look at it every day. Don't put it in a drawer and not look at it. Take the other courses in Shift and ahas to achievement. So I want to hear a couple ahas that everyone has through these 2 courses that we just went through. What did you learn in this that you didn't know, or that you're going to implement now?
Putting the ads directly into a smart plan.
Very good. Very easy. And I can help you with that.
Okay, good. I'm probably going to need your help.
Always happy to help. What else? Who's got something? Remember, folks, how you show up here is how you show up out there.
Well, I'm brand spanking new. I'm not currently with a broker, so I'm learning, and I learned quite a bit from all of
Fantastic.
this. Yeah, I think I need to really understand my areas. I really want to become an expert in the areas. So thank you.
Absolutely.
This was wonderful.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
attending. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Here's the evaluation. We're not doing the evaluation here. And that's the end. So with that, if anyone has any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. And if not, thank you all so much for attending. I appreciate it. And go out and earn those listings and earn those buyers.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you so much.
I have a couple of questions, if it's okay.
Sure.
So, and I'm very green, as you already heard.
Mhm.
So what's the difference between outbound versus cold calling?
So cold calling is a division of outbound calling. And when you think of it like, so outbound is the big umbrella, and then under it, you have two different categories.
Mhm.
Cold calling and warm calling. Warm calling are people you know, connections with.
Mhm.
Cold calling are people that, I mean, you might as well open up a phone book and just dial a certain number.
Okay. Okay. And I took a lot of notes. I think some of these questions are going to be once I get my foot in the door and realize what's going on. Okay. I think that was it.
Okay,
For now. Yeah, thank you.
sure thing. Well, thanks so much for attending and best of luck. And we're always here to
Yeah.
help.
Oh, thank you. You'll be sorry you said that.
Never, never, ever, ever.
Okay.
Are you currently speaking with anyone at Keller Williams?
Yes, Jose.
Wonderful.
Right there.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And he invited me today. So I'm so grateful for that.
Great. Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
we try and open it up. We don't try and have this secrecy because, how do people learn? Well, by being involved. And you can't be involved. That whole kind of situation where if you're not involved, you're not signed up, you don't get to attend, it just doesn't work. So get a preview. What's the harm in it? It's not like I'm telling you something that's classified information.
Mhm. And it was really wonderful meeting with him because he told me a little bit about all of you. And I feel like, I feel like I know you and you're very approachable. So this is really wonderful. I'm truly grateful.
Well, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. And of course, anytime you have any questions, we're here to help.
Okay, thank you. You guys are lucky to have Jose. he
Yes,
he
we are.
really promotes all of you.
Wonderful. We like
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Great. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Have a great day.
Have a great weekend.
You as well.
Thank you. Bye-bye
Bye-bye.
now.